Am I going to do patch notes? I mean, I can talk about them, sure. I guess we haven't talked on the patch notes. I can talk on the patch notes right now. I just assumed it was pretty obvious. But if we can go over them. So the whole Hitscan nerf, while it does hit Ash, I mean, it hits all these heroes. The main ones that are getting kind of screwed with this would be Mccree, because he has a lower, he has a quicker fall off range, so it's at like 25 meters, I believe. Soldiers, I believe, starts at 35, and usually it goes for 10 or 15 meters. So the heroes that are closer, like ranged, their damage is going to fall off obviously faster, or sooner, I should say. So I can already tell you the games I played tonight, I think the Mccree, or this change has saved me from Mccree, I think like 2 or 3 times. Like I've seen it happen. Wrecking Ball, I'm not exactly sure what his fall off starts at, but I'm gonna guess it's pretty quick. So the heroes it really doesn't matter to. Widowmaker, there's a Widowmaker buff below that basically just negates all of this. And Ash, because she has really far fall off range, it doesn't matter too much. I would say it's pretty rare for her to hit 30% fall off, except on maps like Junkertown, Havana, Rialto, stuff that's super long range focused. Wiki says Mccree's fall off is 20 meters to 40 meters. Soldiers is 30 to 50. Yeah, since Mccree's fall off starts at 20, it's going to start falling off pretty quick. You're shocked that it's ball? Well, it's just all hit scan. These were I believe it was a GOATS era change, but it was really stupid to have some hit scan 50%, other hit scan 30%. Really, this should be about 10%. I would be happy with. And I know people are like, but then hit scan does nothing at range. I'd be like, yes, you are correct. It would be more balanced for hit scan and projectile. Because right now, hit scan still dominates projectile. Bastion, they're trying what they can with the guy without making him... I mean, they call it out. Look, we're trying to strengthen his run and gun gameplay because they can't buff Sentry Mode anymore. It's just too strong. Well, it's balanced where it's at, but anymore it's going to be too strong, and then it really sucks. So they're trying to do whatever they can to deal with him in Sentry Mode and not make him a soldier knockoff. Diva nerf is funny because it's because of Echo, but Diva gets nerfed. Obviously, the damage area reduced from 3 to 2.5 meters. This is a bigger AoE than Junkrat's primary attack. For those of you who don't know, Junkrat's primary attack is a 2-meter AoE. Zarya's right click is 2.5. So Kalmec has a bigger area than his primary, but no longer builds ultimate charge while using self-destruct until after her mech detonates. Essentially, during that 5 seconds, she can't gain ult towards her next ult. Which I'm fine with. I mean, I think they should make this universal. If an ultimate is going on, the hero should not be able to gain ult percentage, and what I'm really focusing on is Ash. If Bob is out, she still gains ult, which is broken as shit. I think no one should gain ult while their ult is going, and like a second or two afterwards. Kind of like Reinhardt. Soldier 76. Tactical Visor does not have fall off. I like it. It's a neat thing. It's kind of like Mccree, how his ultimate, while it does charge damage, it doesn't have fall off. It's just a solid number that goes up. And here's the Widow buff we were talking about. I think it's really, really dumb. The whole point of this change is for Widow to be able to snipe other Widows and kill them in one shot, while still having nerf damage overall, I guess is the idea. The problem is 70 meters is so freaking long. Yeah. There is very little practical situations where this comes into play. For all intents and purposes, she has no fall-off damage, which I think is pretty ridiculous. Widowmaker and Hanzo, I think they both need to be reworked into Scout-type heroes. And by Scout, I just mean they should be focused on information gathering and long-range suppression, but not long-range burst damage. But overall, this is mostly in the right direction. I don't really have an issue with any of these changes. The Widow one just seems stupid, that's all. They said it in the Overwatch 2 talk. They're like, Overwatch gameplay breaks down at longer ranges. Well, then why the fuck do snipers exist? Second point, Gibraltar is shorter than 70 meters. Yeah. So, the only place that's really going to matter is Junkertown, Havana, Rialto, Ilios Ruins. Maybe there'd be a couple others that like are notable of killing someone from across the map, but other than those, like 4, that's really it. But even then, it doesn't really matter because she's still doing 300 damage. She's still going to kill most 200 hit point heroes at, I assume if it's 70 to 100, she does 150 damage, so 66% of this. So at 88 meters, I'm doing quick math in my head, but at 88 meters is when she would still be able to one-shot 200 hit point heroes, and at 89, I think it would stop. So 88 meters is everything, as far as I'm concerned. For practical uses, everything. But I want more nerfs to Hitscan, more buffs to projectile, allow more heroes to play the game. That's all I want. One of the main reasons why Overwatch kind of sucks balance-wise is they balance other heroes by having other heroes exist. That entire concept needs to be gone. You cannot balance Tracer because Mccree exists. Because then when Tracer, because what happens after that? Oh, well, you do this other hero that counters Mccree. Well, why the fuck do I have to do all this runabout? At what point do I pick a hero and I'm allowed to play it? Which, I've said this example a couple times. If one person picks hero A, one hero picks hero B. If A counters B, hero B has to change. So now he's playing hero C. Hero C counters A, now A has to pick hero D. Now it's hero C against hero D. At what point do either of these two players get to play the game they wanted to? They don't. And the idea of having this ridiculous house of cards where, oh, we can't nerf Hitscan because Pharah and Echo are too strong. Well, then nerf Pharah and Echo. Nerf heroes, balance heroes around themselves, don't balance them to be in some ridiculous fucking multiple choice test, which I really feel like Overwatch is trying to become. It's a bit bullshit. We don't want a multiple choice test for a game, Blizzard. We want to be able to pick whatever we want, and it works. Against most things, if not all. Walker says, or you can outplay Hero A. But you just said outplay, which means they have an advantage that they didn't work for. It's essentially a skillless advantage. I don't want countering. I want heroes that do something, and that's it. Don't worry about swapping heroes. But yeah. The entire idea is stupid. Look at every MOBA, every MMO, every game. They try to get rid of hard counters across the board. Even look at StarCraft 2. They nerfed the Immortal, or they changed them so before he just took all high damage attacks and they just put him down to 1 damage or something stupid. And they're like, well, it just kind of destroyed mech. You couldn't do anything against it. We're getting rid of this hard counter and any other hard counter in the game, really. Which is great. That's you don't design a game for counters. It's terrible. It's terrible game design. That's all I'll say. But Magical Wizard says it's a very good patch for heroes at close range and projectile heroes. It's more than that. Stop thinking for what's good for projectile heroes, what's good for hitscan heroes, who goes up, who goes down. Don't think this. Overwatch as a whole needs to be a better game. I don't give a fuck what you have to do, do it. If that means delete Junkrat, delete Junkrat. Delete Widow, delete Widow. Do what you have to do to make the game good. Make it so every hero can play against every other hero and is not a significant disadvantage. I shouldn't have to play Mccree against a Tracer. And Tracer shouldn't be like, oh, they got a Mccree, I can't do shit. Right? And in this case, because Tracer's really good, she can outplay it. There are some heroes that are more difficult to outplay. And at that point, it's like, well, the game gets really stupid. I really think the game should go to you can't change your heroes once you pick them, and then force them to balance around that. Obviously, you do it the other way around. You balance things out and then make that change, but I'm going to assume Overwatch 2 is going to go in that direction. It's going for more individual play, and if it's about more individual play, then it's going to require the idea of counters being gone. And they may allow you to swap hero during the game still, but it's going to matter a lot less. Which is actually the leading cause of toxicity in Overwatch, is that everyone thinks they know the answer, and so they pick it, and then they still lose because they can't execute. And it's because developers had put this in their mind that, oh, you don't need skill to play Overwatch, you just need the right answer. Oh, you lost to a Tracer? Should have picked Mccree. And then when someone doesn't pick Mccree against a Tracer, the tanks and the supports are like, wah, 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 wah. You have to pick Mccree because they got a Tracer. And then they get toxic, they get pissed. Really, the source of all issues is fucking balance.